Hey guys, welcome to today's video, and as you can see we are doing some alternate history. What if Dewey won the 1948 election? So his most reasonable path to victory, I could see him winning California. That would really help him out. Also, remember to check out my live stream. You should do that. It's during the New Mexico special elections, I believe. Me, political predictions and analysis are doing it 5 or 10 minutes before it actually starts to go over some predictions and early voting numbers. Also, if you're wondering why I am not using Yapums, is because for some reason Yapums literally just refuses to work. Like, I'm just getting the screen. If anybody else is experiencing this glitch, please let me know if they're able to fix it or something, because it's really annoying, because it's been doing that for my past few videos as well. So, his most reasonable path to victory is him carrying California, him carrying Ohio, and him carrying, let's see, Illinois. I guess he could carry Illinois to the Rust Belt, and that hands him the victory that he needs. So remember, he just needs 267 to win. So there you go. He won the election. So now we're going to go to the 1952 election. Thomas Dewey was elected president. Truman would not run again. I highly doubt that. Eisenhower would not have ran. So it would have been Thomas Dewey running for re-election in this absolutely time where he literally just destroyed him. So that means that it would literally just be Dewey versus Stevenson. He would have a pretty normal presidency, nothing too big. And yeah, so I'm sharing this tab. We would change Eisenhower to Thomas Dewey. Stevenson would still be the Democratic nominee. Save changes. Thomas Dewey would pretty much he wouldn't win by this big. I think he would actually lose Tennessee. He would lose the South. He would not do that well in the South, I believe. I think he would also lose the states, most of the states he lost in 1948. Eisenhower was extremely popular, and that was why he was able to do so well, just like overall. My prediction, I think, would be the end map would be like this. 201, Dewey re-elected. So then let's go back here. Let's go to 1956. So Dewey was just re-elected, and he is term limited. So now we have Dwight D. Eisenhower, and Stevenson would have run again. I would like to clarify that. He would have. So that means that we now have an Eisenhower. Eisenhower would have ran. He made up his mind. He wanted to run at that time. So this would pretty much be Eisenhower versus Stevenson. Yes, that is pretty much the map. And Eisenhower would, again, absolutely sweep him. I don't even think this map would be changed even a little bit. So this is looking so far good for the Republicans. And then Eisenhower we're going to 1960. We don't need to change because that would be the same map as this. I believe this was Nixon versus JFK. But then we need to remember the fact that Kennedy versus Nixon. Eisenhower was just elected, so that means Kennedy will face off Eisenhower. And why is this? Is because Kennedy, another guy, he made up his mind. He wanted to run in 1960. It didn't depend on the candidate. He wasn't trying to be strategic. Like, oh, this is an easy candidate, let's go now. Or, oh, this is a hard candidate, and my Yapums is still being crazy. So we're going to have to stick with 270 for now. I just really like Yapum's design better, so I'm really annoyed. Kennedy would have done better. He would probably do better in the Souths. He would probably have done better in the South overall. I think he also has quite a bit of northern appeal. He would have won Massachusetts and New York. What do you mean it's not? What do you mean the page is unresponsive? It's working fine. Google's like, it's not working fine. It is working fine. He has the charisma, but in the end, Eisenhower's just too popular to defeat. And that would be the end result of the 1960. So now Eisenhower's term limited in 1964, and Kennedy was not assassinated. So I strongly believe he would run again because his dad was the one who pressured him. His dad would just keep pressuring him. So in the end, Kennedy would be the nominee again. But now, here's where it will get a little hard. Who would be the Republican nominee? Actually, it's not hard. It would be Nixon. He is very, very... We have a lot of people who have just set their minds that I'm running for president. So 1956, I think it would be kind of a... Oh wait, the Electoral College map needs to change. So now we're in 1964. It would be Kennedy versus not Goldwater, but Nixon. Save changes. And Kennedy, as I said, Nixon would win pretty much his homes. He would win the West Coast support. He would sweep this area. But in the end, he would lose 234 to 304. I think actually these would go blue. So I think Nixon, however, would do better in Wisconsin as well. And the end I'm sorry if I'm not knowing anything because I'm not that good at alternate history. Nixon would also win Alaska. Nixon wasn't very strategic at all. He was not. He needed much better campaign. So it's 1968, and Kennedy has not been assassinated. Who will be the Republican nominee? I doubt it's going to be Goldwater. You can't jump from Nixon to Goldwater. I think it would just be a rematch. I think Nixon, it would just be a rematch. And this time, I think it would be pretty much the same map, except California and Illinois flip. So Kennedy does even better. So now let's go to 1972. 1972. We're in 1972. Well, sorry, we're about to be in 1972's map. And my Yapums is still just like that. So annoying. 1972, here we are. This was the sweep, Nixon versus McGovern, but I doubt that would have happened. Instead, LBJ would be the Democratic nominee, and Nixon would not be the Republican nominee. He, at this point, is just like, no, I'm out. So then Nixon, who would be the Republican nominee? We could see Nelson Rockefeller being the nominee. He would actually be a surprising nominee. LBJ has incredible Southern appeal. He would absolutely dominate the South. He would absolutely dominate in the South. I can bet you that. Who are we talking? Oh yeah, LBJ, incredible Southern appeal, going to dominate in the South. So LBJ would be there. In the end, how Rockefeller would win his home state of New York. He just has too much appeal in this area. LBJ would win this part. Wait, no, this is traditional Republican at this point. So LBJ would win this part though, but lose. Yeah, so he would lose 239 to 299. Okay, let's head to the 1976 election. The 1976 election, let's see. So that would be oh wait, I'm not even sharing this tab. Actually, was I sharing this tab? Did you guys even see that map? I'm not sure if you guys did. I might have just screwed the video up. So since you guys couldn't see that map, here you guys go. You can now see the map as I explained. So let's go forward to 1976. I don't know why I went forward because I don't need to, and it's the same electoral map. So Rockefeller was elected. Watergate never happened, so the Republicans are in a much better position. Carter would not be able to use his outside appeal. I'd say the candidate would be Hubert Humphrey or Robert Kennedy. Here I'm going to go with Robert Kennedy. He would see the advantage of being part of the Kennedy family. And in the end, Rockefeller would win New York again. Most definitely. And that pretty much hands him a victory. Yeah, this would pretty much be the map. Oh, wait, no, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. Here, this would be the map. So that's 251 to 287. He wouldn't be able to win. Bobby Kennedy just can't win. So next we have, you know what's next. We all know what's next. We all know, wait, it's the same map. I don't need to switch. So we know it's Reagan versus Carter, but that's not what we're doing. Rockefeller was just reelected, so the liberal Republicans are still there. Instead, I'd say George H.W. Bush Sr., would be the Republican nominee. And Carter would, again, not be the nominee. I think it would be maybe LBJ running again, but no, I doubt it. I'm not actually sure who the nominee would be. Let me look at the Democratic nominees here. Ted Kennedy, yeah, should we just go with Ted Kennedy again? Okay, we're gonna go with Kennedy again. Kennedy. Why did this happen? Reagan. No, not Reagan. Bush Sr. So Bush Sr. would pretty much defeat Kennedy. He has quite a lot of northern appeal. But then again, so does Kennedy. I think Kennedy would be able to win New York. He could carry that. And then the conservative, I think Bush could carry Texas, which would actually be very useful for him. He could carry this, he could carry that. So yeah, end result, Bush Sr. winning by quite a lot. So then we head to the 1984 election. 1984. Oh, by the way, this was recommended by Greenwater. Bush will be up on this, and it would be Mondale. It would. it would not be as much of a landslide. This map would definitely not be the outcome. The outcome would end up being much better for the Democrats than the real, but they would still end up losing. I mean, come on. Bush is a strong candidate, except for the fact that he raised taxes. That's pretty much the only reason he lost. Bush would win Texas again. This is pretty much the point where Texas stops being like that one state that just keeps going blue. Bush would be able to win these states. Bush could win, however, Mondale would do better in the West Coast. So I'm stopped. So that means that the end result is Bush winning 341. And I'd say Reagan would run now. He would run. He is not the type of guy who's just like, okay, no need to run, since there's already a president. And Reagan would be extremely popular, and the conservative wing of the party would get more popular at this moment. So it would actually be very different, the conservative wing. George H.W. No, it would most likely be Reagan versus Mondale. No, Mondale wasn't even a big name. I don't even know why I put him there, because he was a VP of Carter. Not a good idea. So Reagan pretty much could, the Democratic candidates, I think Dukakis would be it. Michael Dukakis. And he is a very bad campaigner. I would just like to say that. He is a terrible campaigner. Reagan would absolutely destroy Dukakis. Dukakis. No. Oh my god. I put DC as red. Man. Reagan would sweep across. Dukakis would win West Virginia, Minnesota. That's pretty much it. The rest would be a sweep. The end result would be this. Yes, Reagan literally just swept. I'm going to skip the 1992 election. Reagan would absolutely destroy. He would actually I'm not going to skip it. It's pretty interesting election in this scenario. If Dewey. So this one election changed everything. So Reagan is running for election. Bill Clinton would still be the Democratic nominee. Perot would not even exist. Bye-bye, Perot. You don't exist in this. Perot would have never ran. Reagan would be against Clinton. And Reagan would pretty much destroy Clinton, again. Why can't I save my changes? Okay, there. Reagan would defeat Clinton by, big margins. However, Bill Clinton would do better than Dukakis. He's not a terrible campaigner. He's just not that bad. So, but in the end, you have to get destroyed by Reagan. You have to. It's just a rule now. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. This would pretty much be the end result. Clinton getting that much. That's actually pretty good if you're going against Reagan. Bill Clinton would most likely be in the 1996, and it would be dull. It would just be a rematch. Clinton this time would win, so he would still become president, and he would do significantly. Dole, however, would also do pretty good, surprisingly. Bill Clinton would pretty much why do I keep saying pretty much? He would do pretty good in the North. He'd also win this line because home state and regional stuff. He'd win Pennsylvania, he'd win Virginia, he'd just carry that stuff. And then I'd say he could also carry the Rust Belt. So end result, Clinton 344, Dole at 199. So then we go into the 2000, Clinton running for re-election, and he is facing a challenge from George W. Bush. And Bush would actually be able to win. It seems surprising, but at that time he was known as the popular governor of Texas. So the end result would be quite favorable to Bush. Not Illinois. This is when the divide starts to happen, that regional divide. Actually, no, I'd say Clinton would win. I don't know what I'm talking about. Clinton would win. Yeah, Clinton. This would be the end map. 228 to 310. So now we have to use a new map, which is 2004. And I suspect Jeb Bush would be the Republican nominee. And that's actually, that you guys are going to start laughing, aren't you? But please clap. I better see this claps. We're going to get Bush, not George W., but Jeb, versus Gore. Gore would win. Jeb does not have that enthusiasm. He does not call that popular governor of Florida. Gore would win. Gore would. And Jeb isn't a good campaigner anyways. Yeah, I'd say Nevada would go to Gore. It would actually be a really close election. I think this would be the end result. Bush winning his home state of Florida, but then just losing. And he also clinches with Tennessee. So let's go to the 2008 map. Gore running for re-election. Obama never rises. Oh, I forgot to even talk about 9/11. Bill Clinton would do pretty well with 9/11. It would help Gore out. And the 2008 recession would happen under Gore's term. And there was pretty much no way he could have solved that. So instead of a Democratic wave, it would have been a Republican wave. Shocking. I know. And here we have good old McCain facing off Gore. But McCain would do much better. It's a Republican wave here, for God's sake. He would do so well. You were like, oh my God, McCain wins? Unbelievable. Yes, it is believable, because it just happened. He would pretty much also, maybe even he could carry the Rust Belt. That would be insane. McCain would absolutely destroy Gore. By the way, in this alternate world, Virginia and North Carolina, they don't become swing states. Ever. Never. Never again will they ever become swing states. Okay, no, never again is quite an exaggeration. But they will not become swing states. So we go to 2012. McCain was elected in 2008, and he is running for re-election. Obama, could he be the Democratic nominee? The Democratic nominee is, let me actually see. Who else was in the race? Oh, wait. What? I'm being so silly. We forgot the madam. The madam. Who do you call it? Hillary, of course. Thy madam. Thy madam president. Okay, no. She would lose. I'm saying it right now. She would lose. McCain would carry Nevada, New Hampshire, Florida, Ohio, Iowa, and the state of, he would also carry Colorado, New Mexico, Virginia. McCain defeats Clinton is what you would see on the news. So now we go to 2016. McCain is done, and Trump has even more appeal. Trump is the rising star. And the Democratic nominee would most likely be, again, Hillary Clinton. It would not be Bernie Sanders. You all gonna be like, no, not Bernie, you socialists. Democratic socialists don't want to offend anyone. Trump versus Clinton. And it would pretty much be the same 2016 map. Oh wait, except Virginia and North Carolina are still red. Clinton would do better in Nevada and New Hampshire. Those are starting to move away from the GOP. Okay, so we go ahead and we decide to go to the 2020 election. And Biden will never rise. It will be Sanders versus Trump. But there's a coronavirus. How would the end result be? The end result is simple. Trump would not lose Arizona. He would not lose Georgia. He would not lose Iowa, Ohio. Sanders would do better, but not enough to flip it. Some people show this map. No, he cannot flip Ohio and Iowa. The rest of the Rust Belt is different. I say Trump could win Wisconsin. And again, these states are never even a thing. So, even if Sanders wins Wisconsin, it's out, over. It's pretty much Trump is reelected. The Republicans are in a much stronger place by 2024. Virginia and North Carolina continue to be Republican strongholds. Ohio and Iowa are likely Republican. Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania are like that. Arizona and Georgia never start shifting left. It's actually, if Thomas Dewey won in 1948, it would be a great universe for the Republicans. And it would be much harder for the Democrats to win. Because as you can see, even though Sanders is carrying the Rust Belt, he can't win. He just can't without these states. Without Virginia, North Carolina is still arguably a swing state. But without North Carolina, no, it's over. So that's it, Greenwater. This was quite a long video. I hope you're happy with the result. I hope you all are happy. And please, please, please subscribe and like this video. And one last thing. My Yapums is still loading. So please, in the comments, tell me if you know how to fix this glitch.